Hey, remember when I went to that swamp area to get like a bunch of slime and said I was going to like grind it and crap like that? You know, last episode? Me neither. But apparently I did the grinding and it was hectic. It wasn't even in the swamp I grinded. Apparently I learned that some other biomes you can do the grinding and well now I have some slime. So th that's literally it. I don't I don't know what else to say. The grinding was successful, but I didn't get enough because it's too. Alright, so before we get into the main part of the video, if my voice sounds a lot more different, it's because Nvidia broadcast that I'm normally using to fix up my voice has been changing up a little bit. The latest update have changed a lot of my settings and it's not like the usual anymore, so terribly sorry if the audio quality sounds a bit more different, but I'm not here to buy a full studio microphone to use on my videos, so you're just gonna have to get used to this, since I never expected to come this far anyway. Or rather, I haven't come far at all, but at least I am a bit out there doing videos and whatnot. Let's just get to the main point of the video. Enjoy it. It's Valhelsia Part 7 or some shit like that. So as you'll remember from the last Valhelsia episode, which was a very long time, I said I was going to make a crate structure to kind of show how crate works, but I was never actually able to do it because I needed slime, which was one of the core concepts of literally holding the entire thing together. Well, I said I was going to get the slime and fix it, but then I said fuck it and just, thought I'm gonna do it next time. Didn't know next time would be on February, so instead I grinded up a few things to get myself ready for that build so that I could make it a bit more better than usual. And I made this little contraption over here. So you might be wondering, what is this contraption? Why have you encased every cogwheel and then proceeded to build this extra thing with a blaze burner below? Well, first thing first, I'm pretty sure you didn't ask that. It's just me rambling. And second thing, we need this to make some of the tier 2 items of create. Mainly something that's named bronze ingots. These bronze ingots are super useful because you need it to pretty much make all the filtration and some extra OPer items. The only way to do it, of course, is to use a blaze burner alongside a basin and a mechanical mixer to alloy the ores. You make the empty blaze burner, you get a blaze, put it in there. So I did all of that before starting this. So then after that, I decided, okay, maybe I shouldn't keep it short by just building that and, well, explaining that. So there's going to be something else happening later on. But first, the power situation. So if you all remember, I have made these two machines and I made them work together so that I could duplicate the ore. I also made sure that I was able to do it correctly and made this extraction on the break so I could break it down and get the silk touched ore. It works pretty well. It works so well I even gave it a few upgrades. 4 out of 8 energy upgrades so that it could work a tad bit more efficient. Something I also decided to do was to get this little basic energy cube which will always be filling, meaning that we don't really waste any power at all. And since this thing transferred at about 32 forge energy, 32,000 forge energy, it works. However, our generators are subpar to trash. We could make it better by making more heat generators or making the next type of power, but I feel like we could save that for another time, or rather, not focus on it right now and go for it some other time. I'm pretty sure there's a different type of tactic we could use to generate our electricity. Alright, well, enough stalling on all of that crap. Let's actually look into the main thing we want to do for this episode, which is essentially everything that's in here and more. Because I just realized I have yet to fix up some of the items. I should probably fix that before continuing onward. That'll be fine. We'll fix it on the way. So what's this contraption that we're going to make, you might be asking? Well, one main thing that we need in pretty much this entire mod is wood. Okay, I think it's every mod that needs wood. Wood and stone. We'll get to the stone one some other time because it's a lot more easier. But the wood one takes a bit of time because you have to plant the trees, you have to cut down the trees, and you have to replant it. All of that is probably not easy to do unless you have a mod that helps you with that. And of course, we don't have any type of easy mods. We have create, which makes you makes you use your full brain powers to utilize every single block inside the game to make a construction that can do the thing you want, and it actually looks cool and breaks the laws of Minecraft by doing circles and whatnot. But it doesn't make a round thing, so I guess it's still normal. Here are some of the items we actually need, plus a regular water wheel. Damn it, I don't have that, do I? That's fine. It's fine, I'll figure it out. But these are some of the items that we're going to need. Plus, we're going to need these deployers, mechanical saws, and a portable storage interface. Presumably these are super easy items, so we don't really have to worry about some of the things. The only thing we have to worry about is the deployer. We're gonna need... Oh wow, we can actually cheese it a little bit. But we're gonna need polished rose quartz with iron sheets, which is just basically sandpapering rose quartz. Yeah, combine it with that, plus a mechanical saw and a storage interface, and we basically have a super well built. We also need some kind of rotation thingy, but I don't remember where to get that, or if it even is possible. Nonetheless, let's actually uh, start preparing, shall we? So the goal here is we're going to make quite a small tree farm. So I'm thinking like, if we count this as the middle point, about that big on each side. So it's 3, 3, 3, 3. We don't have to make it too big, and we could just focus on making it like a circle. Kinda like this. So the plan here is we're going to use the water wheels to power the full thing. And we can actually put it diagonally like that. Which looks a bit weird, but it still worked because you're in a 3x3 space. And these extra things wouldn't really count. Let's pick that up. We're going to... Well, let's actually dig down all the way down so that we can actually get it clear thing like so. Then we build up 1, 2, 3. Now, something you might be wondering is how are we going to power the full thing? Well, funny you should ask that, cause they do have a bit of water. We can't really pour it like that, it won't go through all the blocks. Instead, I was thinking a little bit of a cheating way. Well, I guess it's not cheating. We put the water over there. It should help us power all 3. Except for the final one. See, it's a bit tricky with how this works, because you want water flowing. So this block has a flowing block. This one below here has a flowing block. So it should power the second one and the third one. Yep, okay, I solved it. So we have 3 flowing blocks, and since we don't have to encase the full thing, we could just keep that water running, and boom, that's a rotational force. We just put a big one, and put the small one, and put the big one. Now it's faster. It's great. You can't make it more complicated than this. But if you also want to make it more faster, which we don't really have to worry about speed here right now, but if you want to make it faster, we could do a small little setup that I've done over here, where you have the big wheels taking the full thing, but then you have an external small wheel which takes the extra bit of speed for it. Since it always follows the one that rotates the fastest, but still keeps the full strength of big one, it works. So these two would still give us our 1024 kinetic stress plus an additional 256 that rotates at a bit more faster speed. Now that we got this thing up, let's actually start off by encasing it. Since encasing it doesn't actually consume our andesite casing. Alright, so we have the rotational force now at the middle over here. And we technically have the full circle thingy. We just have to fix up the thing that rotates on the top. And I may or may not have completely forgotten the name of it. But it should be around here somewhere. Wow, was it really this hard to find it? Here it is, mechanical bearing. Dear lord, shouldn't be this hard to find something. Well, anyway, mechanical bearing, you just need a slab, andesite casing, and shaft. And that's the alarm for me to stop hallucinating. So with our mechanical bearing, which already has a sticky surface, we can put it on top of here, and as you can see, it's not rotating just yet, but once we right click it, not like that. I think you give rotational force. Okay, yeah, now it's rotating. And then I can't just stop it however I want. Okay, gotcha. Put that back. We will remove this part and let's actually test something. Because I have a few linear chassis over here. I'm gonna place a few like this. And we're gonna give it rotational force. Yeah! It's spinning, alright. And the best part, you can push the player if it wants to. So like, there we go. So if we put rotational force into this, like this, it spins that direction. That means we should slime this side up, like so. And then the other side will have deployers. So now we just gotta get the mechanical saw and actually fix up the ground. Alright, now that we have the ground and access to the bottom side so that we can place the cogwheel again, let's actually fix up the rest of the items and presumably the rest of the build, cause we have extra shit to do as well. Actually, if I sticky one side, is the other side? No, it doesn't. That's fine. So now we just have to at least fix up the rest stuff. And for this, we're actually going to go ahead and start crafting the glue, because I just realized I still need to craft the glue. Even though it doesn't consume slime balls when putting it on the linear chassis, so that's at least that helps us with savings on some of the glue. Now, luckily for me, I do have a bit of resources around here, so I guess we could start crafting pretty much everything. So we have to get the mechanical saw, 3 of them, deployer, 3 of them, basic hand, brass sheets, and andesite alloy. Do I have any andesite alloy? Well, not on me, but luckily I actually made this chest, which I apparently have all the brass ingots in it. Oh my god, it's like I'd literally planned this out so that I could showcase the personal chest. How innovative. Okay, I might be high, not sure. But yeah, this is the personal chest, which is essentially our next part of storage, since we can place multiple of these inside a backpack without it giving us slowness. Because one of the reasons we actually got slowness back then, if I even showed that part, because now that I think about it, I might have not even shown it, was because we had 2 backpacks in it, which was a pretty cool thing, but we found a way to cheese it. It's called a personal chest. We can open it whenever, we can place it down, has its security, and then whenever we get done with it, we could just pick it up like that. It's that simple. Anyway, I thought I saw, yeah, a few andesites. So let's just grab those, get these brass ingots, and basically the way you craft the brass ingots, it's copper and tin together in here with the blaze burner. Alright, so we got ourselves the saws, which we can place not like that, like this. Perfect. And now, if we test this out real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly get a sapling, grow it up, and we'll see if this saw works. So I'm gonna place the sapling right over here at the edge. Since I know it's going to reach those two, but can it reach... Well, I guess it would be able to reach that one as well. So we're testing this edge. So then once I start spinning it, it will not destroy anything in front of it unless it's a tree. So we're waiting until this one grows, so that this thing can later on ram into it, and then we'll see if it works. Now, as for the storage and whatnot, I guess I'll take care of that a little bit later. Now, one thing we have to focus on is, of course, storage. Like I explained, we need to somehow grab all the items that gets dropped from this tree that's going to grow and put it in somewhere. Luckily enough, the way constraptions work is you can put their own inventory on the thing. So once we activate this, it becomes a constraption. But how are we supposed to eject the items from the constraptions? Why, of course, with the portable storage. We place this right over there, facing the right direction, not the wrong direction. Strange. But we have this, and then, just to cheat, we'll put a stone block over there, and then you over here. Then if we break you, and then test the constraption real quickly by placing this right over there, get an achievement, and realize that it hasn't been glued. 1 second. This is why you glue stuff. I guess I'll glue everything at once. I'll get some barrels. Since we're putting the storage right in the middle over here, chest won't be able to open since we have blocks above it. Not that we're going to need to open it, but we're going to have to test it. Now, if we add the storage, like 1, 2, we don't really need that much storage, but knowing me, I might forget to fill it back up again. I'll put this over here so that it moves everything from the portable storage interface into here. Alright, now let's test it by... Well, I guess we could wait until that thing grows and then test it. There we go. So that will mean all of these will be connected together. Anyway, let's bone meal this one. It's because of the chassis thingy. I guess we could test it by spinning it still. So let's see how it spins. Yep, it spins the full thing. Now, theoretically speaking... Oh, wait, we forgot to check out the connection. That is exactly what it does every single time it needs to connect up. Then we have the sapling, which will presumably grow, unless you can get to kill the llamas and the wandering traders and try out with their loot. Yes, that would be delicious to see. But no, that's not what we're focusing on. We should wait until that tree grows, but I think I'm gonna quickly run and do something. I mean, I guess if I have to, we'll see when the tree disappears. Or at least when the sapling disappears. Then we can check the chest. You actually might be wondering, how the hell do we make the thing that we need, the electron tube? Well, if you haven't already noticed, we need a polished rose quartz. We can't really craft polished rose quartz. So, what we have to do is we have to do something. We have to sandpaper it. I guess I'm just trying to milk this shit. You know, add sand to paper, and you get sandpaper. Or what could it be? Put some paper, put some sand, and we got sandpaper. Get it? Cause it's paper and sand. And then if we can put it on the offhand and then start, yeah, like that. I think we had to swap the hands to make it look more cool. But there we go. Polished rose quartz. It can't be harder than that. And it's very easy material, so you can get crate going quite early if you want to focus on that first. I, however, did not want to focus on it this early. I wanted to focus on a few other stuff so that I could later on get into it. Well, anyway, sandpaper only has 8 durability, so we can't really... I hope you die. I hope you all die by the fucking thing. Do they have an inventory? You know what? The llama has an inventory. I guess saws aren't meant to pick up stuff. If I'm far away, I guess it doesn't work. Oh well, I guess I'll wait for the tree to grow, since that is the main thing. Alright, I have enough of waiting with the tree. We're just gonna bone meal it. Alright, let's see. So it hits it up, breaks down the tree, has it in the inventory, connects it in, goes through the chute, and in here we'll see saplings, twigs, and I said it the wrong way, but it works. The important part is it fucking works. That is the whole contraption in a nutshell. Now we just have to fix the rest, which will be the next hard thing. So the theory here is whenever it breaks a sapling, or whenever it breaks a tree, it makes at least 1 to 3 saplings. So technically speaking, this thing will never run out of saplings. The only issue we have is we have to, well, rather, we have to make it start going. And I guess that's not an issue until you realize that how long would it take for it to actually start producing some real wood? So we have to supply it with a bit of saplings before it can start doing the big thing. So applying some uh, glue, uh, no thanks, I want it over there. But applying the bit of glue there, and then putting our deployers like this, we can put them on the mode where they place. I make you place. I think you can see that I have yet to find out how they work. But I know you can filter items. Oh, it's on the side. So if you do... Hang on, let me get on top. Perfect. Okay, so now I go ahead and get more saplings. I put sapling over here. Then I give it a sapling. So now I should be on place mode. I guess I give them one each. I mean, I have to clear out my hand. Guess I could give one too. So boom, boom, pow. That should work. Security reasons, let me get a bit more saplings. I'll put them inside the barrel over here. Now, if we start spinning this, one of two things will happen. The hands will not place anything, or the hands will place things. And the result was it started placing. There we go. We've made ourselves a full farm. And it actually covers a good chunk of shit. So I guess that's... Here we go. Here's how to do a log farm using create. And it only took me... Holy fuck, it took me 40 whole minutes to actually make this. I don't know if I should be surprised or if I should just be proud. I haven't built with Crate for quite some time, so I guess I could use that as an excuse of saying why it took me this long to make it. I guess I didn't have all the materials ready either, so woe me. Then again, why the fuck did it take me this long? Anyway, we don't really have to focus on that, because now we just have to let this, well, work. And to make sure that it works, I'm gonna stand in the chunk where all the trees will grow, and I'm going to claim it, and then force load it. Luckily enough, my computer is pretty strong enough to force load a lot of things, but I'm still gonna try to be a bit picky about it. But for now, this will be working over here. I am later on going to build somewhere around here a stone farm, and there's a reason for why I'm making the stone farm. You will all see later, But for the time being, this here's our farm. It works perfectly. If you don't believe me, I have bone meal to prove it. If I just grow a tree, it will pass through it. I guess there's still some sides where it wouldn't break the tree, which small issue. But I guess the full thing is lagging. Yeah, let's grow another tree. Huh. Oh, it's the claim chunk. Hang on. If I unclaim it. Yep, that's it. Great. So I have to AFK here for it to work. Is there a way I could bypass this? Okay, I think for the time being, I'm just gonna let it be and work like this. But in the future, I'm going to have to fix this. But it works as long as I'm close to it, so it should be fine for the time being. I'll just start AFK more and more around here, and we can find out the issue why it's like this. So let's, turn our attention to something else, and that is our one beloved Botania mod. I honestly didn't think I'd come this far, and considering the fact that I already have the resources for this, let's start off with this. So, if you remember since the first episode, I've been collecting flowers. How many flowers? Uh, well, collected too many flowers. So we're pretty much ready to start off with Botania. And if you don't know how Botania works, basically it's tech, but not with energy, it's with magic. The earlier we start with this, the better it is, but I decided to start with this around mid-game, cause reasons. So the first thing we need with Botania is, well, they want you to get the book, because the book is good. But I'm gonna skip on the book for the time being, since we don't need a book until like later in the game. So our first goal is maybe to get a specific flower, and that is how you start off Botania. I guess I should also get the book as well. The lexicon. Yeah, I guess I'll get the book. Give me a second. Alright, so to make the two items that we're going to need, well, the book and our starter item to actually craft some of the things in the game, we're first going to have to grab a flower, right? Only one. And I guess I could grab two white flowers, which will be for later. We're going to have to break down this flower. So the way Botania works is you would need these petals or mushrooms, because mushrooms has the same value as one petal, but a flower has the value of two petals. Take one of these, and we combine this with the book to start off with, to actually get it, and apparently it's not giving me the book. Is it not a petal? No, it's a sapling. Why the fuck would it be a petal? I don't know. Ask somebody else. I guess I'll get that later. But the second thing we need is the petal apothecary. However you say that. But we place this down and we're going to have to do a combination with that. But first let's get some water and a sapling. And check out how badly this has been going. What is that? Is it not breaking? It's because I've been... Oh, it's because of... Oh, right. Forgot about one thing. Dear Lord. Hang on, I'm going to have to fix this real quickly. So we take an oak sapling with the book, and we get the Lexica Botania. The Lexica Botania will basically tell us like, oh, you can get a flower pouch. You should probably focus on the petal apotheosis, whatever the fuck it's called. The petal thingy, about Black Lotus, the mystical flower, etc, etc. I'm not gonna read this thing, because the only thing we're gonna need this thing is to later on upgrade it. So, let's just yoink that to the side of our inventory and move on. I guess I should also put on my helmet here, so I can actually eat faster. So we start off by taking a bit of water and to actually grab some stone. Here we go, that's 16 stone. And we're also gonna need some oak logs, so we'll grab 16 of these as well. like so. Don't worry, you'll see what we need them for. I also need a seed, so I guess I had the industrial. I don't know if that counts, but I guess the seed, so whatever. But we put the water inside of here. We get 4 petals that we drop into here. And as you can see, it'll be like, oh, combine it with a seed, and you'll get your pure daisy. The pure daisy is basically a converter. Anything you put close to this thing will turn into the Botania variant of it. So, if we took 8 logs and surrounded it, it will turn them over time into a different block. And since I don't like how slow it is, I'm actually gonna make 2 of them. Put 4 things in here and boom. We can place this one over here instead with the stone around it. And over time these will convert into a Botania version of their block. So this one will turn into a living oak, I think, or living log. And this one will turn into some type of stone. Oh, hey, look, living log. So let's go ahead and pick up the living log. Like this. Because we don't have a pickaxe with us. I will go ahead and continue with this. But the living log is our first start with Botania. But also the stone over here is a bit more important than what it looks like. You'll see in a bit once we actually get that. Or right now. But if I'm not wrong, with the living logs, we can make a certain constraption. But let me just pick up the living rock, which has a way more different purpose than the living wood. They're both basically useful, but in their own ways. It takes a little while to make them, which is why I made 2 of them instead of 1. So now that we have both the living log and a living rock, we can start creating some of the stuff we need. Now first thing first, we need to actually start talking about the currency of Botania. And in here it's something called mana. And the way you would obtain mana is you would have a mana pool. Now the mana pool is quite simple. You place it down and that's it. That's your storage. It can keep a good chunk of mana, and whatever item you need to transform into a mana item goes through the pool. We can actually fill it up in a few ways. One of the fastest ways to do it is to get these black lotuses and throw it into here. I guess you have to have some mana first before doing it. So I guess our next goal is to actually fill this thing up with mana. That's where the living log comes into play. We only need 1 of these, and luckily enough I do have some copper ingot over here. We just need to choose another flower to make it into whatever we need. I'm gonna choose you this time. Well, I guess I already had a petal around here. Thank God I didn't transform it instantly. So if we take the petal, we take the logs, and we take the copper ingot, which was before a gold ingot we needed, we now have a mana spreader. Which looks like that, because apparently I placed stuff. We also are going to need a rod. But I think for that we need to make, yeah, the living twig. I think we need 3 of them. I'm going by memory right now, so excuse moi. So if we take 2 petals and put them like that, with 3 living twigs, we obtain this wand. The wand of the forest. Now, for the time being, I'm gonna place the mana spreader over here. But what we can do with this thing is we can actually link this up with our mana pool. So that as you can see, it's now looking towards the mana pool, and we can also see what's inside the mana pool. We can also change the direction. So is it item to pool, or is it pool to item? It's also an extra mode, the function mode. I don't really know what else it can do apart from that. But let's actually start filling this up with mana. This thing can fill up with a lot of mana, so we have to just use it. Now, according to this book, they would actually recommend us a flower that we could make, because there's 2 types of flowers that can help us with creating our mana that we need. there's the generating flora. Wait, there is two types of generating flora, because generating floras are the only ones that can produce mana. That's the right thing. The functioning flora is for the tech stuff of the mod. I don't think we're gonna get into the tech stuff of the mod, because we're going to get into a bit of an extra stuff with this mod, or something, I don't know. What we need is the End of Flame, or the Hydrangeas. Yeah, it decays after around 3 days. So it's not a long-term production. But it works as a start, so... Alright, so now that we have the Hydrangeas flowers, whatever their name is, let's actually look into how they work real quickly. Stuck in an area, any still water in a 3x3 area at the same altitude. Rather than converting water to mana, I'm assuming the 3x3 area works something along the lines of this. So basically 3x3. And it says the same altitude, so I'm assuming the same as the grass block. So if we place this over here, and place this over here, and then we link these bastards up with each other, so I link you with you, and you with you. After a bit of time, it should start giving us mana. And I don't know if I should wait this out, because I don't know how fast it is. So it's going to take us some time. I guess we could also make the End of Flame one. Where rudimental generated flower, it'll absorb any combusting item or blocks dropped on the nearby vicinity, one at a time. Amount it takes is the same as a furnace. Okay, I think I know how to build this one quickly. And whilst these two generate the mana we need, we can make the End of Flame and actually make its full thing. Because there is a setup you can make with the End of Flames that makes it pretty good. Or makes it very cost efficient. But first I have to actually get the ingredients. Which is brown, light gray. Okay, let's see. We got the brown, we got the light gray, we got the red. Alright, let's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's the End of Flame. Now we just need a seed. Let's check any mana. No. We just need a little bit of mana so that we can actually claim these black lotuses. Because I've been holding on to these for a while. Let me just go ahead and fix up the construction for the End of Flame. And we'll get back to you all in a minute. Alright everyone, so I just happen to have the End of Flame recipe right here, ready to be crafted up. And I might have gone a bit of an overkill with this setup that I've made. Basically, the way it works is once something gets on this pressure plate, it's going to power this open crate, which will make it so that it won't drop down. So basically, if we try it out right now, without it going into my inventory, please. Where's the magnet? Here's the magnet. I'll put the magnet in there. It'll go into there, and then if I put a second item, it still drops it. Fuck, why did I mess up? Do I need to put redstone here as well? Yes. Yes, I did, because I have to go to the hopper, not to the open crate, otherwise it will always drop. Alright, perfect, perfect. Let's equip this back on again, and get right back to sleep, because I, again, don't want to deal with mobs. Alright, now that I'm wide awake, one thing I've noticed is these Hydrangeas aren't really making anything, so I'm really assuming that you have to put it on the exact same block as the Hydrangeas is on, which is a pain, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this End of Flame right over here. Hook it up, like so, and now, the thing technically works like a furnace. So I just so happen to have a few blocks here that should technically work, since these do burn. So, starting off with this, it's... Oh, it's... Oh, holy shit, it's actually consuming it. And now it's filling up the mana. Well, I guess that makes it a lot more easier. Blazing Quartz is basically a resource we can obtain from the Nether. I've seen it a lot. I've not tried to mine it because I was unsure how we would be able to use it. But apparently, this works. So, just to make it easier for myself, this is basically the same as a coal. I'm just gonna use that. Stupid magnet. Always gotta ruin it. Perfect. We now have a full setup that drops the item, gets picked up by the end of flame, and it gets burned off. I'm gonna make a setup for these hydro whatever the fuck, and they have a durability. Fuck that. I'm just gonna burn these out. And I'm gonna delete the rest, because I don't want to deal with this crap. I'll just let the hydro or the end of flame do all the work. And if we look at it with our wand forest, we'll see that there's actually a tiny bit of mana. It doesn't show it, but it's there. If you look real closely. Editor, zoom in on that. Yeah, you see the mana. Super small, but it's there. I think with this amount of mana we can actually put in these black lotuses to show off. Yep, these should give a small bonus of mana. It's so much that it barely fucking shows. Why did I even save them if they barely fucking show any mana progress? Great. Well, that's that. I don't really know what else to say.